I was planning to propose to my girlfriend for the second time after 9 years because the first time I was turned down because it wasn't good enough. I, 31M, and my girlfriend, 29F, met and started dating while we were in college. We've now been together for 9 years and I'm just amazed how someone like her even exists. She's sweet, adorable, kind to a fault. However, she always puts everyone else before us and prioritizes our happiness last. Some backstory before we get to the present. During the summer of 2021, I proposed to her and was turned down, telling me it wasn't good. I understand that I could have made her proposal more grandiose, but I didn't have anything planned and decided to just rely on a spontaneous moment to present itself. I thought watching sailboats at sunset, after a fun date at a small amusement park-like setting, rope courses, kayaking, arcade, etc., and prior to dinner was the perfect time to ask her. Mind you, we've been together for over 6 years when I decided to ask her and she said she wasn't ready and that she told me she wasn't ready, a year prior to me asking. This is where, sure, I could have done better to accommodate and gotten a little more of a feel for where she was at more prior to the spontaneous proposal. Regardless, I got rejected for her reasons, critiqued, and our relationship dynamic was slightly different from that point on, but she told me to ask her in 2 years. I told her that I'd ask her in 1. Compromise. A year goes by and I didn't ask her. Outside of me teasing her with the occasional, "Gosh, I can't wait to marry you someday, what are you doing tomorrow? I hear City Hall has a beautiful venue." I decided to honor her request to wait 2 years. The story get a little weird as it may be hard to believe that our parents hadn't met until over 6 years into our relationship. Her mom was coming up to stay with us one weekend and I took it upon myself to ask my family if they'd want to come up and meet her mom and if they wanted to grab dinner. Only my parents accepted and it was a really nice dinner. I adore her mom and my parents and her hit it off well. Because I invited my entire family, my sister asked me if I was planning on proposing as it has been about 2 years since I'd asked before. Funnily enough, it was 2 years to the date. I confirmed this by a photo I had from that date day on my phone and the timestamp was exactly 2 years. I laughed and decided to joke with my girlfriend when we got home from dinner that night. I was helping her get her mom settled into the house before bed and I decided to tell her how my sister made a joke about it and I showed her the uncanny timestamp. She laughed and said, "Ha ha, no." I replied, "No? I'm not asking you to marry me right now." She then responded, "Oh, I know, but no." I was devastated. We are now over 8 years into this relationship and I felt in the exact same place as we were 2 years prior. She and I talked about this after her mom's stay and I told her how her response absolutely gutted me. She apologized and said she didn't mean to hurt me, but she's still not ready, but she's close. I'm sorry, but I'm finding it really hard to understand what's changed. Since then, I had a plan for a date over the holidays this past year, 2023, but her asshole friend ended up killing her desire to even discuss anything engagement/wedding related, so I had to forfeit and admit defeat again when trying to plan a thoughtful proposal. My girlfriend had mentioned the year prior 3 days before Christmas, 2022, that it'd be nice to be proposed during this time of year, so I frustratingly planned for the future only to have her loser friend to ruin the plan. 370 days worth of planning gone down the toilet. I had an emotional breakdown in front of my girlfriend over this because I was continuously getting devastated by the attempts and the failures that are out of my control and I'm losing interest in asking, which is something I don't want. I love her so much and know that she's truly one of my soulmates I'd encounter in this life. But I'm struggling. We cried and found ourselves closer again after talking it over. We try really hard to communicate as that's something her parents don't do well and I can tell that she's been left a little apprehensive in regards to relationships and marriage as a result of her upbringing. Now for the present problem. We live in an area of the world that'll experience a solar eclipse this year. I originally really wanted to get married on the day of the eclipse, but again, I tried and failed to meet the time frame for my girlfriend. Right person, wrong time. Okay, fine. She knows I really wanted to do a wedding during the eclipse and have a really special wedding that all of our guests would remember to years and years to come. When she told me that I should give up on trying to get married that day, to maybe try proposing on the day of the eclipse. Sure, not as romantic and symbolic as an exchange of rings while a huge ring is looming in the sky overhead. But sure, I'll compromise. The eclipse is quickly approaching and I've told her to clear out her schedule as I have plans for us. I had plans for us to picnic with all of our favorite foods, and walk a dog from the local shelter. We do this approximately 2 times per week as we're trying to wait for the right dog and just enjoy the exercise and the puppy dog kisses. I was planning on proposing again. This time she's given me the okay. But wait. Now her college roommates are inviting us to a party for the eclipse. You want to go to Ginger's and Skip's eclipse party? No. Not really. I asked you to clear your schedule and to plan for a fun date day. I like Ginger and Skip. Love their company and truly value their friendship. However, I know Ginger would lose her shit if I told her what I was planning and try to get involved. I also know that if I asked my girlfriend in front of her friends that she'd feel trapped and uncomfortable and I'd like get a yes that she's not happy with or I'd get publicly rejected in front of all our friends. I don't want anything complicated and had laid out my plan already. I was taking a day off from my business to prepare the food for our picnic and here I am now getting burnt again and I have no idea how to rectify this situation and to follow through with my date with my girlfriend. Any advice on how to rectify this situation and not humiliate my girlfriend in front of all her friends?